everyone, it's Kate from the Fold Line. I am back with Sew the Trends Winter. So, usually I will go into central London, go around all the shops and pick kind of core trends that I'd seen and pair patterns to them. Because of the current situation, I sort of thought I think I should just skip the trip into London and search online. So it's slightly different this time, but I have done actually even more research than I think I'd have done in town. But I just felt like it was probably not an essential trip in to peruse the shops. And yeah, so I'm sure you guys understand bizarre circumstances that we are in. But I have got some freaking awesome stuff for you to sew this winter. It's going to be a really long video, so just to get ready, set yourself down. Maybe it might even be in two parts. The other thing I will also say is apologies that I didn't do, I did a Sew the Trends spring. I usually do a summer one. To be totally honest, because of the current situation, not a lot had changed in terms of what was on in the shops, so I decided to skip it and wait until now. So, I have got quite a lot to talk to you about. I've got some really lovely patterns, and I will, every time I'm talking about something, I'll pop it up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about, and then I will pair patterns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with bottoms and then move up to tops and then finish with outerwear and dresses as well. So yes, get yourself ready. So the current circumstances, I have felt definitely that has affected what is on offer. There is a slightly more trend-based selection of stuff mixed in with the reality of working from home. I noticed there are a lot of blouses this time, which I thought was quite amusing because you can wear like something nice on the top to do your work calls online, and then you can still be wearing whatever you want on the bottom half. So yes, there's a bit of a mix of what is out there, and I've kind of tried to cover both bits, which I think will be good. So, first things first, trousers. I'm going to start with the sort of more relaxed fit trousers. So I saw a lot of these trousers that I'm showing you now everywhere. The core thing about them is they've got an elasticated or gathered waist, and they also have elasticated around the ankles. There were loads of these, lots of different fabrications. There were everything from big kind of chunky, almost like tracksuit bottoms, through to linen for the more summery things. But I think you could make this in something, this pattern, in something like a suiting or a crepe, and it would look really fantastic and it'd be perfect for winter. So the pattern that I have picked for you guys is the Arden pants from Helen's Closet. These come in sizes 6 to 30, available on the online shop. I'm going to say now, everything I talk about is available if you want it, and there will be links down below so you can click through and peruse at your heart's content. So yes, the Arden pants I think are a fantastic option. Really great size range, really nice. I've seen loads of them online. They look fantastic on everyone. So I think this would be a really good option if this is the sort of thing that you're into. I like them because they feel a little bit like tracksuit bottoms, but they're not. Yes, so that is our sort of more relaxed fit on the trouser front. The other thing that I saw a lot of, which I will show you, is a more classic tailored trouser. There's definitely a 90s feel to a lot of the stuff in the shops, and the sort of everything from a quite tight fitting trouser through to quite a relaxed fit, but the core thing about it is that it sort of feels tailored at the top. Lots of things without waistband, without a fly, and zips at the side as well, which I like as well. So I've got two really great patterns. Right, the first one I have got for you is the Calder dress and shorts from Cashmerette. This comes in sizes 14 to 34, and it has two different fits. So it's got an apple fit and a pear fit, which is fantastic. I thought these were almost perfect. Actually very simple to make as well. So loose fitting, zip up the side, waistband. Yeah, a really nice, good pattern, so something that you will make over and over again and will be very useful. So I think this would be a very good wardrobe staple if you're looking for a pair of trousers like this. The other pair of trousers that I chose are the Billy trousers from Fibre Mood. These come in sizes 6 to 28. They've got seams down the front. They've got almost like a fake fly. I think they have. It looks to me like they have a fake fly. No, maybe not. Sorry, I was looking at these and now I realise I'm not 100% sure. No, proper fly at the front. Classic pair of tailored trousers. They've got a slightly, I don't know, just like a nice cut to them. They look really interesting and I think lots of people would really like these. I will say that the line drawing makes it look like there's a seam down the centre front. That's not, it's just a crease. So yeah, I thought those, trouser wise, those three options would be perfect for your winter wardrobes. So, sorry, my laptop is here because there is so much to talk about and I'm really worried I'm going to get myself all muddled. Right, so we're now going to move on to tops. So, lots of different variations within what is available. One thing that I really noticed is there was a lot more casual wear. So, there was a real contrast between very casual t-shirts, loose fitting jersey tops with interesting details, and proper kind of lovely blouses. So we're going to start with the jersey tops. I'm going to show you a sample selection. Really classic, wardrobe basic, but there was a lot of these around, a lot of them with embellishments or patches on them, and a lot of them like the green version from, I think this one was from Other Stories, like nice little details like that puff sleeve around the cuff. So I've got three patterns which I think would work really nicely. So the first one is the Lauren top from Fibre Mood. This comes in sizes 6 to 22. I picked this one because it can be made in jersey and it can be made in a woven. It's very loose fitting, it's very widely cut, you'll see from the line drawing and the way that it's styled, like it'll be a really good quick one. Perfect for a beginner. So if you haven't made many things, I think this could be a really nice one. I love the concept that you can make this in a crepe and it could be something that you wore like as something more smart, but you could also make it in a jersey and it would be a really like comfy top. So I thought that was a good option. The next top I've got is the unisex Tulia Tee by Mason. This comes in sizes 8 to 20. I put this one in because I thought it was really interesting. It's actually branded as unisex as well, so you could make one for someone else as well. I put this one in because I thought it was an interesting cut. It's got this line, this kind of seam kind of running down the front. I also thought that you could colour block this, which would look really fantastic. And it's again a kind of really good pattern that you'll get a lot of kind of use out of, I think. The third pattern I've got is the Somerset t-shirt from Marvin Patterns. I put this one in because this one to me had the detailing. It's got this really lovely bell sleeve with a big deep cuff. You could make the cuff a bit smaller if you wanted to, which I think would make it a little bit more on trend. You just extend the length of the sleeve and shorten the kind of cuff of it. But this has been so popular within the sewing community. I haven't told you the sizes. It comes in a UK 8 to 20. I think this is lovely. Boat neck. It does come with different sleeve options as well. So if you aren't really into the bell sleeve, there's also a straight sleeve. So in terms of kind of value for money, this one would be quite good because you've got straight sleeves so you could make kind of basic sort of Breton style tops, but you can also make them with the bell sleeve. And I have now noticed looking at the line drawing that they do offer one with a slightly smaller cuff as well. So perfect. So I feel like those three would be really nice options for the more casual side of stuff. The next up I saw lots of, which section am I on now? Shirts. So classic shirts, there were loads and loads of these. In quite a lot of different variants, so either close-fitting classic shirts, but made in a slippery fabric like a viscose, or there were kind of your classic cotton shirts but oversized. So there was a lot of oversized bigger things, and then sort of your classic shapes but in slippery fabrics, which makes them look quite different. So I have got for you, I've kind of got 3 things. One of them slightly wildcard, but I think you'll agree. So the first shirt I've got, if you're looking for something more oversized, I did quite a lot of research and I couldn't find something that felt like the pictures, but this one does. So, and I've talked about it before, it's the Olya shirt dress from Paper Theory, shirt and dress I should say. This comes in sizes 6 to 20, it's available on the online shop. It is fantastic, I love it, it's really interesting. I've spoken about this before if you've watched videos. It's a really interestingly cut, so I'll pop up the line drawing so you can see. They've got this really, the sleeve is all cut in sort of one piece, and then it extends to across your chest. It's really cool, it's lovely. The shirt dress option of this is fantastic, but the sort of shirt I felt like a lot of the things that I saw in the shop, so I thought that would be a good option. The other version, if you're looking for something I think a bit closer fitting but also with a nice little detail, the Montana shirt from Itch to Stitch, which comes in sizes UK 8 to 22. This comes with A, B, C, D and double D bust cup options. So if you are big boobed or smaller boobed, this is a really fantastic option because you're not going to have to do a small bust adjustment or a full bust adjustment. This is a very classic shirt. I really like it. There's the option which you can see the picture of for the gingham version with the tie at the front. There's also a version without that, so don't feel kind of you're tied to this. But this is a really classic shape and would be, again, something very useful long term within your wardrobe. The other thing I saw quite a lot of was sort of smocky type things and pullover shirts, which there isn't a picture of, but as I was hunting I found this pattern. I thought I'll pop it in because I think it would be a good option. So it's the James Fisherman smock from Ready to Sew. This comes in sizes 6 to 16, it's available on the online shop. It's really nice actually, so it's based on a classic fisherman's smock. It's got a big sort of pocket at the front, it's got a classic collar, and it's got this interesting sort of bib style placket at the front, which I really love. It's got a drop sleeve, it's oversized, which a lot of these things were, and I just thought this would be a nice another version if you're thinking sort of in the shirt categories. So that is shirts. Then in the blouse department, there are a lot of blouses that were, and I've just shown you a sort of 3 that kind of I felt summed up everything on the high street. High necked, with interesting detailing, so either mix of fabrications, pin tucks at the front, or those big sort of like big pin tucks sewn into the sleeves or at the front, different fabrics as well, so mixing different types of cotton so that you create a kind of interesting look. I think this pattern is perfect. So it's, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I'm going to Coley blouse from Pauline Alice. This comes in sizes 6 to 22. It's actually just arrived on the online shop. I loved this as soon as I saw it, and it's, to me, has the feel of all of these sorts of blouses. It's very interestingly cut. You can see from the line drawing there's a kind of big seam across here, there's gathering, it's high necked, it's got interesting details, it's got those big pin tuck pleats around the sleeve. I just felt that this sort of was quite a good option if you're looking for something nice to make, and I just love it. I'm definitely going to make this. I'm very excited about it. I think it's beautiful. So next up we have got cami tops. There were a lot of these, and I know some, I feel like they're quite Marmitey, but there were a lot of these bias cut, draped necked cami tops. There were so many of them, and they were everywhere, in either in dress format or in top formats. And I saw them and I thought, well, I know the perfect pattern for this. So if that is your vibe, I've got a really good one. It is the Sicily Slips dress from Mason. It's available in sizes 6 to 28. It's available on the online shop. And yeah, this was pretty close. It's like a slip dress with this cut on the bias with this cowly drape at the front. So 90s. I had a top very much like this in 1990, whatever, or maybe early 2000s, and yeah, it reminds me of that. But I thought this was perfect, absolutely spot on. So if you're looking for that, that is the pattern for you. Next up, we're kind of moving from tops and dresses now, in tops into dresses. So shirt dresses, there were quite a lot of these. Every season there is a shirt dress. I felt a little bit like the high street wasn't quite sure what to put out in terms of its offering for this, the oddest winter I think in the history of the world, and so the shirt dress is like a safe thing that you know you're going to wear each season. So the dresses varied quite a lot. They were all quite loose fitting. They all had they were quite floral, generally, mix of prints as well, often, all with quite nice detailing. And then there were the kind of slightly more girly ones, and then they were quite utilitarian, sort of slightly more boxy fit. So I've got two patterns. I've got the Rita shirt dress from Name Clothing. I mean, this is an absolute cult pattern. This comes in sizes UK 4 to 28. Names have just released, actually, if you aren't aware, a larger size range for their patterns, for some of their patterns, so this is one of the ones they re-released. This dress is perfect. It's loose fitting, buttons down the front. It hasn't got a stand on the collar, which makes it a lot easier to sew. A kind of drawstring waist. Rachel has made this, loves it, slips up the side. I think it's perfect, and this was so similar to lots of things. The other thing, if you're thinking you'd like to make something a bit more boxy and a bit less, yeah, just a bit less girly. I don't like that phrasing, but you know what I mean. The Calais shirt and shirt dress from Closet Core Patterns. I thought this was a really good option. It's a classic shape. I'm sure lots of you have made it. If you have made it already, great, because you're ready to go. But I thought this would be a really nice other option, which is kind of different to the Rita, but in the same sort of vein. So I hope those have ticked all your shirt dress needs. Next up, I saw a lot of these, so dresses, button down, kind of fit and flare, with a V-neck, sleeves. Some of them had big puff sleeves, some of them had quite straight sleeves. Again, I felt like this was tying into the sort of safer pieces, which, to be honest, are more wearable and are going to last longer. So the dress I picked for this is the Darling Ranges dress and top from Megan Nielsen. This comes in sizes 6 to 20. I mean, again, I feel like this is a sewing community cult classic. I'm sure a lot of you have made this, but this was so close to all of the things that I saw. The only thing potentially is you might want to add a little bit of extra into the skirt to add a bit more gathering, because I feel that would probably make it a little bit more on trend, but generally that was a pretty close fit. Whew. Right, so next up we have got shearing. There was a lot of patterns that have shearing on the bodice, loads and loads everywhere. I wasn't sure whether to include this because I definitely have included it in another video, but it's the fantastic new pattern from, although not that so new anymore, from Victory Patterns. This one almost ticked all of the boxes in terms of the shape. It's got the shearing around the body, it's got sleeve options so you can add a puff sleeve. There are a lot of things with puff sleeves about. I just think this would be a very good option, and also if you've never tried doing it before, it would be a really nice new skill to learn. So this dress I thought was a really perfect. I'm feeling like I've been talking for a long time, and I'm aware that I've still got a bit to go. So if you are feeling like I've been going on for too long, just pause me and go and get a cup of tea now, because I've still got a few to go. So last but not least, on the dress front, there were a lot of quite simple A-line dresses, quite loose fitting at the top. You know, very occasionally I look and I see this thing pop up and I'm like, oh, I know the exact pattern for that, and I saw it on Topshop to start off with, then I saw it in other stories, and then I saw it on another website, and I was like, okay, so that is enough of a thing to feel like a bit of a trend for me. So it is, the pattern I've got for this is the cuff dress from Assembly Line. This comes in sizes 8 to 18, or there are two size bandings for this, so 8 to 18 and then 20 to 30. I love this. I'm sure a lot of you are into it. The cuff top was extremely popular. So it's a very simple dress. It's got this big channel around the waist, which you put quite thick elastic around. The same in the sleeves. In terms of fit, it's really easy. It's a simple pattern actually, and I think it's one that you will make over and over again. You could make this in a really lightweight wool, perfect for winter. Make it in a linen, perfect for summer. I think if you like that sort of feel, I think this pattern you could get a lot of use out of. I really, really love it. So I thought that was good. Right, next up, and we're moving now into outerwear. I've got three sort of things to talk to you about. The first one is not a particular style, it was a fabrication that I noticed. Quilted jackets, there were a lot of these, and there was a huge amount of proper puffer jackets, but there were also a large amount of little short jackets, or slightly oversized, almost like, rather than a coat, like something that you'd wear almost as a jacket or a cardigan. Loads of these, loads of them. So I've got two patterns to talk to you about. The first one is the Iora jacket from Pauline Alice. This comes in sizes 6 to 22. It is a fantastic pattern. I've made it, I love it. And if you want to try quilting, I think it's a really good one to do. It's quite simple in terms of the construction. It's all cut kind of in one piece, and you quilt it and then you cut it out, and then yeah, I really enjoyed making it. It was one and I've worn it an awful lot. I sort of wear this kind of as a cardigan rather than a coat, but this was, I thought, really close to a lot of the things I saw on the high street, so that is a good option. The other option is the old classic, the Tamarick jacket from Grain Line Studio. I'm sure a lot of you have made this or have thought about making it, but if you haven't, now is your time, because this is very much on trend, and this kind of boxier cut as well was particularly similar to things that I saw on the high street. So this comes in sizes 8 to 18, and there are loads of people who have made it, so if you're thinking about it, Instagram, because you'll get loads of inspiration. Right, now we're moving into tailored jackets, a huge amount of these. Particular fabrication, which I know is a bit wild card, and I'm sure most of us probably weren't going to do this, is leather. There was a lot of leather tailored jackets, which personally I thought were a bit gross, but they were everywhere. Right, so I've got a couple of options. So there was, as well as the tailored jacket, there were sort of shorter jackets that felt a bit tailored, but kind of had like, not tailored, they were sort of kind of shorter and cropped, slightly boxy. But anyway, I've got two patterns. So the first one is the Richmond blazer from Nina Lee. This comes in sizes 6 to 20, available on the online shop. This is your classic blazer. It's, I just love this. It's double breasted. It looks great. It's oversized. There were lots of oversized jackets on the high street, so I thought this was a really good option. If you're looking for something with a bit of that feel but slightly easier to make in terms of the construction, I thought the Verona jacket from Tessuti Fabrics would be a really good option. This comes in sizes 6 to 18. It's quite simple actually. I'll show you the line drawing. I don't think it's lined actually from looking at this. No, it's not lined, so you can make this in sort of a boiled wool or something like that, which means actually it'd be much quicker to make. And it is simple when you look at it. I think you could whip this up quite quickly. But yeah, it's a really lovely pattern. I've seen a lot of people make and enjoy it. So I thought that was a kind of good contrast. Right, coats. There were kind of 3 core things I think with coats this season. First things first, oversized. And a lot of these patterns, the patterns I've got to show you aren't particularly oversized, so you might need to size up if you want to get that feel. So the 3 styles were, and I will show you them, so the Zara coat, so there are a lot of these oversized, like a classic coat with a button all the way up to the top. It was really hard to find this. I thought I'd be able to find a perfect pattern. So that's the first sort of style. The second style were double-breasted and wrap, and I sort of have tied them in together because I did struggle a little bit actually finding the perfect pattern for these, but there was a lot of wrap ones with a tie belt, and there were also double-breasted ones with a tie belt. So the 2 patterns, actually I've got 3, I kind of got 4 actually. Oh God, I've been going on for a long time. Right. The first pattern is the K blazer from Fibre Mood. I appreciate that this is short, but in terms of the length, but it comes in sizes 6 to 28. It's available on the online shop, but this I thought was perfect. It has that wrap feel, tie at the front, patch pockets, and you could totally extend this and make this into a coat, and that would make it very similar to a lot of the wrap ones. Another option I've got is the Soho coat from Tessuti Fabrics. This has that oversized feel to it. You can see from the picture. It comes in sizes 6 to 16, so it has it's a bit of a rubbish size range on this one. But I thought I would include it because it definitely has that sort of boxy feel to it. The next pattern I've got is the Mercy coat from Atelier Schmidt. I included this one. Again, you would need to size up, because I think it looks quite close fitting, but it definitely it buttons all the way up to the top, which there weren't very many sewing patterns that do that I could find. So I felt like this was very similar. You'd also want to leave off the ruffly bit on the pockets, which isn't easy enough to do. But yeah, if you made this a size or 2 bigger, it would definitely have that sort of boxy feel. The last coat, and last but not least, my last pattern, and then I will leave you to your weekends, is the Oslo coat from Tessuti Fabrics. I thought this, to be honest, was probably the best of all the options. It's slightly oversized, it's double-breasted, it doesn't have the tie, but I think you could just make a tie and use that. It comes in sizes 6 to 16, again, crappy range of sizes, but it is there if you like it. I think also because it is a bit bigger, you probably could buy it and size up. But yeah, that to me felt like the closest of all the stuff that I found on the high street. So that is it from me. I'm looking at how long I've been going on for. I hope that was enjoyable. I'm sorry you didn't get all the nice bits of me like trotting around London at the beginning, but I hope you can understand. And we will be back soon with another video. Have a lovely weekend. Bye!